Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Raghavan Mishra, and in this video we will be configuring Log4j2 logging in Selenium Framework from scratch using Log4j2 XML and Log4j2 Properties file, and learn logger levels and then use logger in Selenium script, and we will see how logs are written into file and also on the console. So before we start, just keep in mind that the Log4j1.x is deprecated and no longer supported and maintained. So whenever we are choosing the logging library, we should go with Log4j2.x. Log4j2 is the new and improved version of classic Log4j framework. So alright, with that, let's create a project and see how Log4j2 can be implemented and used in Selenium. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create a Maven project in my Eclipse. Again, I will give some name to that project. So let's give logger demo and click on finish. I'll go ahead and expand the project, open the pom.xml, and I have copied certain dependencies from Maven repositories here, so I will add it to my pom.xml over here and just save it. So after saving it, all the dependencies from the Maven repository will be downloaded to the local repositories. So you can see all your jars of Log4j, Selenium, and testng, whatever we have kept inside, whatever we have saved inside this pom.xml has been added to your build path of your project. You can validate them by checking Log4j. See, Log4j API and Log4j core has been added to the a local repository, right, into the build path. So it will be made available across the project, okay, in all the files, all the scripts. So you would have noticed that I have added the dependencies of Log4j core and Log4j API, and I have chosen 2.x version. Okay, and along with this you can add rest of the dependencies which are required for your framework, right, development. So I have added Selenium Java, I have added testng, and I have added WebDriver Manager dependencies also. You can include as many dependency as required for your framework. Okay, so for now, to demonstrate or for demonstration, I mean, like these many dependencies are enough. Okay, so you can go to the Maven repository and search for Log4j over here, and you see that Log4j core which you have to copy, and you have to copy Log4j API. Okay, this is the deprecated one, Log4j1, so you don't need to choose this one. Okay, here, since yours is Maven project, so you have to copy Maven dependency. Okay, there are multiple dependencies available, so don't go with the Gradle and all. Just go ahead and take this and add it to the pom.xml, which I have already done. Okay, with that, I will go ahead with the test script now. So I'll create a class file called test logger. So instead of writing each and every line, I'll just save my time by going to my YouTube channel and click on the logger link over here. I have created a blog for Log4j configuration for Selenium framework, so you can go through this blog and get the simple Java, I mean this particular class, test class, copied and just paste it into your, it can be any script, right, of yours. So you know, right, so looking at my videos, previous video, you can just create any number of class files as you want, and then if you want logger to be implemented in your framework or your project, right, so you can have those dependencies downloaded, and in one of your script or any script or in your project or in your automation suite, you can implement, you can invoke, or you can create the instance, logger instance, okay, using these two lines. Okay, so consider this as your script, and then you add two more lines. So things are quite simple here. We get the logger instance by using the Log4j to log manager class, and its get logger method. So once we have that, we use the info and error method of the logger to write log records. Okay, so here I can pass some info. Don't worry if you task for so many arguments, you just need to pass whatever you want, whatever information you want a logger to capture. So I will be writing that Chrome drivers setup is complete. Okay, then I can add a log info here saying implicitly wait of 10 seconds. Okay, so I want these information to be captured in the logger framework. I mean to the log files, maybe in the appender or maybe on the console. Okay, based on like what appender we choose. I mean these messages will be printed over there, either on the console or on the file. I'll talk about that later. So just this is the flow. This is one end-to-end flow where I'm just opening Myntra site. I'm just accessing one element. I'm expecting this web element to be present on the Myntra homepage. If not, then if this element is not found, then it will go to the cache and it will actually throw one exception. So that exception we want logger to capture. Okay, so we are actually creating a new exception, and we are passing element not found exception to that exception, and a whole a lot of whole messages to be captured to logger through this error method of log4j2. Okay, and then we come to the finally block, and we are actually printing this message. We are quitting the driver and we are printing this quitting the driver message to the log. Okay, so I'll just run this program and we will see how it goes, if that flow is proper or not. So that flow is proper, but we don't get anything logged over here. Okay, we don't have. So until we add any system.out.println message, we won't get anything over here. Okay, printed. And neither we have defined any log4j2.xml, log4j2.properties, and because of that is missing, it is not printing the log we want. Okay, these log we want to see. Now how we can achieve that? So we can achieve them through some customized logger, which I have just mentioned over here. So you can go to this again and get the log4j2 XML. Okay, so this is the sample which I have added. So we are customizing the log4j2 configuration over here. So I'll just copy this and put it in our project. Okay, so where we have to put this, we have to put it inside src main resources. Okay, so log4j2 will be looking for these properties and xml yaml or json file. Okay, and it will be very particular about that file name. So you have to give log4j2. Okay, and then you can either give xml or based on like notation or syntax you are using inside. So I have copied this one and just save it. So you can see I have copy pasted over here the content of this file, okay, which I have copied from this particular blog which I have created for you. So here you can see configuration, you can see appender, then you see console, you can see this file attribute, then you see logger. So these are the main element. Okay, and then you have a label. Okay, so these are the things which you have to keep in mind. So configuration, this is the root element, this appender, basically this will so log4j basically provides appender object which are primarily responsible for printing logging messages to different destination as possible, right? Such as console, okay, files, anti-log events, swing components, JMS, remote Unix, syslog daemons, socket, RDBMS, and etc. Okay, so this is very important, right? You where you want your log to be printed or to be shown, right? You use appender for that reason, for that matter. And logger, you can go ahead and customize the root level logger or package wise logger. Okay, and this additivity, so which actually tells you, I would have added that information over here. So additivity is set to true by default. That is, children inherit the appender of their ancestors by default. If it is set to true, so which means the children is inheriting the properties of their ancestor by default. Okay, inherit the appenders properties, appenders basically of their ancestor. So whatever is defined in the root level will be inherited, okay, by inside the packages also. And the finally this root level which is set to the info, okay, and appender reference is file. Okay, now let's come to the appender once again. So we are having two appenders over here, so console and file. So file name is file, and file name, basically file name is file, capital file, and the file name is, here you have to give the path where you want your log4 log file to be generated. Okay, so I'm choosing this log this particular path, Windows temp inside the C drive, you see, and then I want this log to be printed over here. So this is case insensitive, right? So even if you go with small, it will work, doesn't matter on Windows, right? Actually, so this particular log4j dot log will be generated inside this. Nothing is here over here, right? You can see, and then this is the pattern, okay, which is timestamp and then log4j file levels and then masses, and here also masses to be printed, followed by this timestamp. Okay, and now here we are choosing in the log label, root label, we are choosing info, and the appender reference we are choosing as file. Okay, so this file we are particular, we want this information to be, you know, logged, this particular log to be printed into the file, which is nothing but this file. Okay, and in this path along with this information, this pattern. So this cannot be run individually, rather we have to, I mean, log4j will be looking for this file, and wherever we are actually passing these messages, these will be captured by the logger, log4j2 framework. Okay, so let me run this. There are some issue, you can see connection reset. Okay, doesn't matter, we'll see if the log file got generated or not. Yeah, this got generated, you see, and we are successfully printing the messages. Chrome driver setup is complete, implicit wait of 10 seconds, logged into Mintra and quitting the driver. You can see everything is printed as a info, and this is the timestamp, and you are inside main method. Okay, and this is the info, and this is the message which you have passed to the log4j. Okay, you may see this connection reset issue, doesn't matter, and it is not harmful as such, but you can fix it also later. Let me run it again and see if that connection reset is again you know, coming or not. So once in a while you can see because of so many issues with the network also, and see, it is gone this time, and we have not got anything over here. All right, so let me open, and you see we have set the appender equal to true. Maybe because of that it is actually appending. Okay, it is not overwriting. See, everywhere we have set append equal to true, so which is why it is actually appending into the log file. If it is set to false, then it will be overwriting that file again, and it will be printing only one message, whatever message are there inside the test logger. Okay, so it will not be worrying about the earlier messages which was there in that log file. Okay, okay, we have seen one log4j2.xml example. Now I will just delete it, and maybe I can just rename it, okay, to something original, so that now log4j will not be, I will just clear the log, and it will not be printing now. Okay, because log4j will not be finding this file. See, let me refresh. Maybe see, nothing is written over here. Though the class the execution script execution is complete. Okay, but we have not got anything because now Log4j2 has not found this particular class. So which is why we have just changed the extension to oris and it didn't find that XML which is it was looking for. Okay, no worries. Intentionally we did that. Now we'll go back to this and use Log4j2 properties file. Okay, so this is that properties file. So I have written two examples over here. So you can go with the console appender and there is example for console and file appender both. So you can go ahead and choose this example, okay, and put it in one file called log4. Just create one file called log4j2 properties file, log4j2 dot properties. Okay, just paste the content over here. Again the same thing. So this is the appender we have chosen, console and log, and this is the file name which we want our log to be printed inside. So this will be our uh, uh, folder, okay, in this example. So you can see like there is no folders with logs created so far, okay, and we are giving this as a property. So we want our logs to be created inside the file name, which is nothing but this, you can see. Okay, so I have added two appenders over here, appender console and appender file. And the pattern layout we have already discussed, and this console, this is the type and this is the console name, and this is the type and this is the file name. Okay, and this is actual file name, you see over here. So we want our file to be generated inside this particular directory, which is logs. If it is not created, then it will create one and print the log. If it is already created, then it doesn't matter, you go and create this logs.log inside the logs directory. Okay, and this is the pattern again, same thing which we have discussed in log4j2, this example. All right, and now we are choosing debug as a root logger level, and we are choosing file appender, and we are taking the giving the reference of log file, okay, which is this, that file name. Okay, with that we are all set, and we can now expect that this particular debug message this time. Okay, now you might be, okay, let me run it. So again we can't run this program, okay, so we have to go to the class file and run it. Yeah, so that's done. And now if you refresh this project, you will get logs folder, see, and you can open this log folder. So it is printing all the debug statement which might be required in your framework. Okay, as in when you want any information uh, to be captured, like, okay, so you can set the logger label basically. Okay, so based on the logger label set, it will be printing those statement to the logger. Okay, it will be passing those messages to the logger, and logger will be actually redirecting based on the appender used. Okay, quickly we can discuss like what all should be printed and why we are able to capture the this one debug statement, right? And when and what those standard levels should be chosen. Okay, so as in when like you said the root level to debug or info, right? So info along with above levels will be actually, above logs will be captured into the loggers. Okay, can be passed on. If we are choosing a debug, so debug along with info, warn, error, fatal of these will be supported by the logger. Okay, so this is that hierarchy. If you are chosen or selected the warn as a root level, so you can't expect that debug statement will work. Okay, so it will not be printing. Okay, I'll show you the example. So just in case if I choose info, it will be printing info and these messages. So these methods will be supported. Okay, so you have seen, right? So we have got the logs, debug logs inside the logs dot log file. Okay, see, everything is over here. Everything is over here. Now if I actually want to print this into the console, I will quickly show you like how that can be done. So instead of this debug, let it be debug, and I will choose console this time. And so rather than printing onto the file, it will printing everything over here now. Okay, I will run this class again, and you can expect that everything, all debug statement are printing inside the console. See, everything is printed over here. See, cool, isn't it so? Yeah. So that is beauty of log4j XML. Whatever we want to print information, right, we want to capture in customized label, right, everything will be seen. So that it will be easy for developer to trace the script, right, to down the problem, or they can easily get into the issue and fix it. What is the problem? So looking at the logs, it will be easy for them to find. Now we might be wondering like why every time it is catching this exception, and we are not showing anything on this logger, right? I mean, whatever is written inside catch block. So how can we fail? We can deliberately fail that particular statement, so that the control will come to the catch block, and we should be able to get something for logger, okay, as a error. So we have log4j error method, and we are actually passing this particular masses to the error method of log4j2. Okay, now let's see. I have deliberately failed this by changing the XPath of that element. Now the control should come here. Okay, and we have chosen debug as a root label. Okay, so the error will also be captured. Okay, we have already seen that. Okay, so debug, if we choose a root label as a debug, right, so error by default it will actually be captured. Okay, if you are choosing a warning, so you can't expect info will be actually captured. Okay, so it will be disregarded. Let me see if I choose warning, maybe here if I choose warn. Okay, so those statement whatever we have logged as a info will not be captured by the, it should not be captured by the log4j. Let's see. So we are touching upon each and every possibilities, so that you know it will be easy for you to understand like what is the flow and how it is working. Okay, see, so it has not captured anything, but error it has captured. You got it, right? Understood, right? So since we have chosen log4j label as a warning, okay, so warning will allow, actually whenever we are choosing warning, so these error will be this error statement, these error method will be actually recorded by the log4j framework, but the info whatever we have given inside that test script will not be honored, so these will be disregarded. So if we are choosing this standard level, so this info is the most popular one, you should go ahead with the info. Okay, until you want to debug something. Okay, and mind you, it prints whole lot of things into the files. So if you are choosing all, so you can expect that whole lot of information will be passed on to the files, which might be taking a lot of space in your system. So you should be very careful while choosing the uh, standard label also for the logs. Okay, so info is the best one to pick. Okay, info and debug and warning. Okay, so this is the hierarchy, and let me put this to info again, and see, we have also shown you like how the information will be captured by the error will be captured by the logger. So it has shown that element not found, right, whatever we have written over here, element not found. So this is the exception, new exception which we have passed along with the exception occurred. So it would have printed exception occurred, then it would have printed the, it has printed the element not found in the Java lang exception. Okay, in line number 31, this is the line which is here. Okay, okay, if you click here, it will be actually taking you to this, it will be highlighting that line. Cool, isn't it? So again I'm setting, I've set the logger to info again, and I will be executing, then we will bind up this session. Okay, this time I'm not printing all those debug statement. So it will be printing element not found. This should have printed wait, info we have given, and we are giving a standard output. Let me give debug. Was it saved or not? Okay, let me rerun and then see. Let it close. Element not found. Yeah, so XPath, and then yeah, yes, it is actually printing, but we have to be very careful, because we have chosen some of the exception, customized thing. Okay, I mean, like methods, like when you choose info, it will be printing those statement over here somewhere. We have chosen a debug this time, so there are a lot many things to print, right? So you don't expect that, okay, right after it has printed debug statement, then it will print info. No, so it has printed debug, then it has printed your informations like implicit wait of 10 seconds. You can copy everything over notepad plus plus and see like how actually it is working and what all it has printed, right? So it will make your life easy, okay, as a developer. So we are quitting the driver at last. Okay, so just take the logs out into the notepad plus plus and see what all has been failed and what was the expectation, if it is fulfilled or not. So it will log4j2 will is going to be very helpful in, if you are developer, and if you are a automation developer, or framework developer, and if you have got into any trouble and looking into the issue. So this is the kind of mechanism which is going to help you out on various aspect of framework development. So you should be choosing log4j2 as an option. As I said, like log4j1 has been deprecated and no longer supported, so you should always go with log4j2.x. Okay, so uh, I hope you have liked the explanation and learned from this video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Also share the feedback in comment section, and thanks for watching. I will see you in next video. Till then, keep learning.